It's the FA Cup, 4th round, West Bromwich Albion versus Manchester United. And Louis Van Gaal certainly does not want a repeat of the League Cup match here against Premier League side Arsenal, where his team were eliminated. So he's gone for a more, I'm going to make sure I progress this time squad this time around against West Bromwich Albion in the next round. And the only other domestic cup competition that Manchester United involved in, of course, like we said, eliminated against Arsenal in the League Cup. So this is pivotal for Louis Van Gaal to try and get one piece of silverware under his belt if Manchester United can't win the league and only get to the Champions League, which they are leading by a few points, in which case anyway, so a nice cushion for West Brom. Ben Foster is in goal as always, Boda, Lescott, and with Reed and Podolski in the midfield. Ide is up top by himself, and Cezinio is playing behind him. Yusuf Malumbu is in the midfield with Jakob. Johnny Lescott was a pick out in Manchester United's first match against West Brom, which they now already lost. For United, Andres Lindegaard plays in goal tonight. Antonio Valencia and Rafael play wing-back roles. Striegman, Fletcher, Di Maria and Januzaj in a four-man midfield behind each other. Robin Van Persie is up front with Will Key. That is traditional 4-4-2 with two midfielders behind the others. Very interesting formation. I think Louis Van Gaal is starting to realise that a 4-4-2 works. So he'll be able to try and put that to pivotal confirmed use tonight against West Brom. Ramsey Leo is the referee. We're about to kick off. So Wilkins' impressive performances as of late have earned him to start alongside Van Persie rather than Falcao. Rooney has only made the bench, understandably. He doesn't want to risk his captain, still shaking off a recent injury, so Louis Van Gaal has decided not to risk him for this match. And we're hearing from sources that Aaron Henwood should be very close to returning to training sessions, so their energy player will be back soon. And the Premier League can't wait for his return. We need someone like him, hard work, and a prime example of loyalty in a world where some players you could accuse them of chasing the money around. There are a few notable exceptions like Steven Gerrard, even though he will be moving to the MLS at the end of the season, before losing their inspirational captain. It has been a bit of a saga surrounding Steven Gerrard, but his loyalty is without question, despite the kind of stuff surrounding his contract. But he will be going to the MLS at the end of the season as Januzaj forces a save out of Ben Foster. And Januzaj's been a bit slow this season, not really proven himself as much as you'd think. But it always is going to be difficult to break into the first team, and I think the pressure of having the 11 shirt is a bit too high for him. We're able to corner, and Chris Smalling has scored against West Brom again. That's Chris Smalling with the goal, and he scored against West Brom in the dying minutes of the first Premier League game between these two, and he's done it again. Completely free header. Chris Smalling at the back with Johnny Evans tonight. That is a fantastic header. There is no way Ben Foster's ever going to that. Beats Johnny Lescott convincingly, and the ball goes past everybody. That is a magnificent goal by Chris Smalling. A well-worked header, fully deserved. His first goal at the FA Cup. Two were from Di Maria and one were against Herrera in the previous round, where Manchester United conveniently beating Swindon Town, but with all due respect, Swindon Town weren't really expected to win. But they gave it a good go in some cases, Swindon Town, they did. But unfortunately, Manchester United were just too much for them at the end of the day. And they succumbed to a loss. With a brilliant pass. Is Ide going to get to that? Yes, he is. And great covering by Chris Smalling. Fantastic covering, but he's lost the ball, unfortunately. Here comes Valera. Great tackle by Rafael. Valera's not giving up on it, though. It's Cambodia. And tackled by Januzaj. Manchester United invigorated and up for this. And it's a beautifully worked ball for Rafael. Wasn't necessary, but it worked. And Percy calls for a ball in front of him. Januzaj completely ignores him and goes for a cross. And it wasn't a bad idea. And cut inside and beat Newcastle in one of those situations. It's a tussle in the box, and Strugman was in there, trying to get his first goal for the club. Had a quiet start. He was picked by Louis Van Gaal tonight, alongside Garrett Fletcher behind Di Maria and Januzaj. The cross and headed away by West Brom. Here's Sessegnon. A lot of the pitch to work with. Valencia and Raphael get back. They are the wing backs after all. Raphael actually playing on the left. Van Gaal wants to utilise Valencia on the wing, seeing as that he doesn't play wing midfielders. It makes sense. Van Persie! Oh, he teed up the shot. He teased West Brom there. Brilliant show of confidence. Robin Van Persie. He stopped and he teed up a shot, but unfortunately it was going wide. Di Maria, pleased with it though. He had a little laugh there. Well, it is transfer deadline day, and we will bring you all the teams that have made transfers at the end of the day. We will bring you all the news. Of course, Manchester United already did their business with the signings of Kevin Streetman and Victor Valdez. Valdez on a free, as he was a free agent, the goalkeeper, but not featuring probably for the rest of the season, as he's shaking off an injury himself. So Van Gaal has had a lot of injuries to deal with, but it's been a mastermind kind of performance to work through it. And to be honest, Manchester United's expectations were not high. They only wanted to reach the Champions League, and anything else was a bonus. They are leading the Premier League and progressing as of right now into the next round of the FA Cup. And Antigua fans have been watching the Norwich game with interest, because we could have a possible rematch between Aaron Henwood and John Ruddy. If you remember from last season, Aaron Henwood had a fantastic bunch of battles with John Ruddy, and he scored finally. In the first game they had, Aaron Henwood couldn't score. The second one was the FA Cup, which he did in the final 10 minutes. And the third is where he scored again, and then had a penalty saved by John Ruddy, and then went off the middle of the second half, as he played a few consecutive games by then. But it wasn't enough for Manchester United to progress into the FA Cup. There's only one goal, and Norwich won by 2. And that's a foul. He's going to book him. And this is a perfect distance for Robin Van Persie. Julian Lescott, who was a pick out in Manchester United's first game against West Brom. He played particularly well and scored, only to be brought back for offside, unfortunately. So Lescott couldn't rescue a point, as Smalling had taken the lead at that point. Well, Robin Van Persie has already scored against West Brom from a free kick situation, and Ben Foster's aware of it. So he'll be eyeing up his wall. It's only a 3-man wall, and it looks a bit further out than it was last time. But Van Persie, we know who can hit them. Here he comes. Oh, he was dipping. Just a bit too high for Robin on that occasion. Well worked. And just went a bit too high, and it was coming down, but didn't come down far enough. I think Ben Foster may have just had that covered. He looked a bit unsure, though, when he attempted to try and save it. He didn't look all convincing, but I think a keeper of his calibre probably had that covered more than you'd think. Ben Foster trying to work his way into the England setup. I think he actually given up on that. Paul Robinson pulled out. I don't know if Ben Foster has. I actually can't remember. To be fair to Ben Foster, he was in the Manchester United team for quite a long time, which he really couldn't break into because of the calibre of goalkeepers United had at the time, in Van der Sar and later David De Gea. Foster then left on a transfer to West Brom. And I would say Manchester United don't regret that decision, but Ben Foster has really worked himself into a fantastic goalkeeper. Went to the World Cup and was experimented on last year, but England's really poor performances in the World Cup. Ben Foster actually did well. I think he kept a clean sheet. I think the game against Costa Rica was 0-0 if I remember rightly, but England's performances in the World Cup were pretty woeful. Not that anyone was expecting them to progress anyway. The calibre of teams in that World Cup was astonishing. The Spanish team went out early, as we know, But the Germans, they were just fantastic. Mesut Ozil, you know, Lucas Podolski, to name a couple. And there's a good tackle. A bit subdued here since the goal. Oh, Januzaj, fantastic move. Still sparks in that game, Januzaj. It's a good save by Ben Foster. Still sparks of brilliance in that game, Januzaj. But as we said, he's been a bit slow out of the blocks this year. And many people considering a low move. He's only 19. You have to remember that. He's very young at Januzaj, but he burst onto the scene of David Moyes last season. And some would say he probably rised up a bit too fast because he's slowed down a bit this year. He's still a fantastic talent that Manchester United will really be willing to keep a hold of, especially him and David De Gea and Aaron Hibbert. Wayne Rooney's now committed, so we don't have to worry about him. And Percy maybe. Although Louis Van Gaal will show tremendous faith to the Dutch players, Daley Blind, Kevin Strootman and Robin van Persie especially, being on his Dutch team of course. But he's trying to find the spot for Januzaj. He is the number 11, but Januzaj's been a bit more slow out of the box. I mean, people really should expect that. Burst onto the scene with David Moyes. There is no doubt in my mind that Januzaj is a talent that Manchester United just need to keep a hold of. They need to build this team around the core that they've already got. You know, some really young players like Januzaj and Lingard and even a couple of others as well. Will Keane, James Wilson, Januzaj and James Wilson, in my opinion, the core of the youngsters around the Manchester United players that Manchester United need to keep hold of. Will Keane, and it's a fantastic move. Even Will Keane is trying to work his way into that kind of frame of mind as well. It has been a stellar season for United, it has to be said. Under the standards of last year, when they only went into 7th in the Premier League. Headed by Fletcher, picked up by Van Persie. Now he's Januzaj again. Couldn't get past the defender there, tried. West Brom sources were saying that the West Brom team were inquiring about Darren Fletcher, but I don't think he will be going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think so. I don't think it would really suit Darren Fletcher to this point. And a lot of fans will want to keep a hold of him. He is the vice captain. Oh, Januzaj, almost a fantastic move, but he's gone down. And he's a bit slow getting up, but he's okay. Januzaj, it was a fantastic attempt at a move, and Januzaj's up for this one. Halfway out, down to Januzaj. Great control and cross, and Van Persie, but nothing doing. United small appeals for a foul, but nothing given as we approach the end of the first half, in the 40th minute. As Januzaj skips round Gamboda, cuts in, and shot was blocked and hit by Kevin Strootman, who really wants a goal here. You've got to admire Kevin Strootman, he's up for this. It's a good shot. Oh, and Lescott comes across, again putting his body on the line. Johnny Lescott is being fantastic when it comes to defending Manchester United, even if Manchester United are one goal ahead. Di Maria into Smalling again, and that time Smalling, no goal. Another free header. They really aren't doing very well marking Chris Smalling, West Brom. And you could have a look at the squad and say Van Gaal did not want to take any chances. He didn't do that against the Emirates. He had one of his best squads out there, but the three at the back, I think that Manchester United had at that point just wasn't working. United need a 4, and it's working brilliantly. Percy to Darren Fletcher with a cross, all people, but what he can do it is Lescott in the book, clears it away. Januzaj with the throw. From Van Persie to Kevin Strootman. Strootman lost the ball. Oh, fought through by Antonio Valencia here. Passes through to Kevin Strootman. Good save by Ben Foster. Fantastic work by Antonio Valencia. Kevin Strootman made a run. He got the ball off him from the pass, but fantastic save by Ben Foster. He's keeping his team in this cup tie. He's got number 5 minutes of added time in the end of the first half. Manchester United a goal to the gut. It's going to go roll right through to Lindegaard, who's going to have Johnny Evans crashing into it. He's got up and he's okay. Strootman, that's a great pass. Januzaj keeping under control. Keane. Will Keane again. Oh, brilliant hold up play there. And Will Keane's pass to Strootman was picked off. Manchester United playing wonderfully in this first half and deservedly ahead. Oh, goes by Di Maria and not Valencia. Throw in West Brom though. Could be one last chance. The referee checks his watch. Throw in Nide. Goes past Di Maria. He's Dorrance. Across it. He'll work his way through to striker, and it's over the bar. It's Ide. And it's by no means a free header. I think that's how he went over, and then the guard is not need to do any work there. West Brom not really got forward since before that point. Manchester United, fantastic performance in the first half, deservedly ahead, and this has definitely worked so far for Louis Van Gaal. At the break, Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. In an FA Cup tie which Manchester United thoroughly dominated.